Charles, back on the Bossman Show, champion of the CAA, Jacksonville Dragons head coach Zach Spiker with me on the Bossman Show. Coach Spiker, going to talk to you, man. How's life up there in Philly, man?
We're doing great, JR. It's great to see you again. I think we talked a few falls ago as our season was getting started. Is that right?
Last year too, Coach. Last year too.
Okay, perfect. That's right.
I'll try to make sure I get you at least once a year, Coach. I'll try to make sure I get talk to you at least once a year. So, hey.
You just want a cheesesteak. That's what you want.
Yes, I love those. I love them. Chicken cheesesteak. Chicken
cheesesteak. I got you.
Yes, indeed. Well, Coach, tell us about your year, man. I know last year about this time was crazy. We already know what's going on. So talk about the journey for your team. Been away from you guys all that time to come back on campus, get ready for this year, knowing what it was all going to be about. Tell us about the journey from this summer until now, Coach, and what the journey has been like for you and your team.
Yeah, JR, you're right. It was about a year ago when Rudy Gobert basically shut down the sport of basketball with his positive coronavirus test. Everybody reacted quickly. The tournament was canceled, and our guys were sent home. We have 4 international guys. They had to get back home, and our other players had to get to their homes. We have 2 guys from Atlanta. They had to get home, and they spent the summer there. We lived on Zoom once a week throughout the entire spring and summer, had guest speakers, met up with our guys, and then we finally got back to campus sometime in September and started preparing for the season. Once the season started going and the testing protocols were in place, and we followed the protocols for the city of Philadelphia. So Drexel was right in downtown Philly. So the NCAA was doing 3 times a week, but the city of Philadelphia said, if you're going to play, here's the protocol. And that was every single day. So we were testing daily from about late October, early November until Christmas break. And we came back and we tested daily. I think we missed 1 day because of a snowstorm. That's it.
Wow. And for your guys being international guys coming back into the country, like your guys from Atlanta, like we've been wide open since April 24th, Coach.
So at least, right?
so how was it them guys telling you about how wide open it was down here, come up to Philly when it was more people were more smarter? I'm gonna say they were smarter up there than they were down here.
I don't know if I was use those words. My brother would get mad at me because he lives in Smyrna, so I'm not going to say smarter. But I think the threat of the potential harm was at a higher rate of concern in the Northeast, right? So we had guys that on our team that lived in New York, and they drove to Atlanta to get workouts and play with guys in Atlanta just to get out of the way where things were a little more open. So the virus was the same everywhere. Everybody's interpretation and reaction from a government standpoint has been very different. So, but our job as coaches and leaders is we got to adapt and adjust to the circumstances in our town, in our area, and go from there. So what could be done in Atlanta is different than what could be done in Philadelphia. So, and that's fine. If we lived in Atlanta, maybe we go about things differently. But right now, during this process, we had to adhere to the city of Philadelphia and their CDC guidelines and protocols for the coronavirus. It didn't linger. It didn't keep us from doing things that much because our guys were incredibly disciplined. The big thing we told our guys all season was the most disciplined team is going to win this. And we said it nonstop. And initially, I think you could say that any year, right? Because you talk about defense and offensive efficiency, defensive transition, checking out, rebounding. But there was an extra element this year that the most disciplined team meant. Are you washing your hands? Are you not touching your face? Are you wearing your mask? Are you not being in closed areas? Are you not going to parties? Are you staying disciplined with your social life to give you a chance? And I really give our guys all the credit in the world. They put themselves in good situations to be disciplined. And then they still have to play some great basketball, which they did last week.
And Coach, you being right downtown Philly, you all can pretty much walk and not really drive that much. So I think that helped you guys as well, being downtown where you are. Guys not getting in cars together, getting in close spaces. So I feel like that helped you all a lot because you all, only team in your conference, didn't have a pause on your own. Now you missed games because of other people's pauses, but not a pause of you guys' own doing.
I appreciate your research, and I appreciate how you say that because it's kind of like we're still not out of the woods. We got to test tomorrow before we go to Indianapolis, and we got to test there. So we're all a little anxious and nervous like we have been the whole time. But it's kind of like talking about a pitcher. In the 8th inning, he hasn't given up any hits yet. The announcer's not going to say, that guy's got a no-hitter going, right? You don't want to jinx it. But our guys to this point have been incredibly disciplined, and I appreciate how you said that. But Yeah, that's what it is. And the credit goes to our players and our medical staff who've put the parameters in place for us to be successful and to mitigate any potential risk of the virus spreading. But you're right. You make a great point, JR. Our players live in some incredible living properties that are private, that are also part of their scholarship situation at Drexel, that overlook the city of Philadelphia. It's a 28-story building that is across the street from our arena. And so you're right. They don't have to get in the car. There's all sorts of Chipotle, Old Nelson, every, modern sandwich and Subway and taco shop you could imagine within probably 3 blocks. And so you want Jimmy John's, Dunkin' Donuts, whatever it is, guys want, they can get out of their room, walk to it with a mask on, get it and go back to the room and not have that crazy amount of exposure like they're driving to, which now we were down to conference tournament. We had cookout every night.
I love cookout. Love it.
Yeah. Every game we won, we celebrated with milkshakes. So we like some cookout.
Yeah, I love me a good vanilla or chocolate or strawberry coach, chocolate milkshake. I love it all, man. Hey, cook and run right down to my house. I'm out from my house. It's a cookout right now. So you gave me out there for dinner already, coach. Thank you so much, man.
when I come visit you, JR, put me down for an Oreo mint milkshake, please.
I sure will, coach. And coach, let me ask you this, man. Tell us about the mental aspect of your team this year, man, because as you said, being disciplined, you have to be mentally tough in every facet, because one slip up could be a mishap for everybody involved. So tell us about how you guys mentally prepared for this year, and probably brought you closer together because you're going through something together. All these protocols are together. So this year as a coach, you do a lot of coaching, but this year you really had to walk as a coach, player, from the managers on down. We ought to be on the same lockstep in about this one mission: being safe and secure and playing great basketball to win games for Drexel and get you guys back to the tournament. For some in 25 years, I was 8 years old when you left the tournament, coach. So I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's great. It's very exciting for everybody to be going to the tournament and to representing Drexel University. It's a first-class institution. It's a top 100 school. And it's a great academic institution. So there's so many people, so many alumni across the country, around the world that have called in and written us, and the pride they're taking in our program. It's great for our guys to see the impact they can have with successful winning basketball. But yeah, I think you asked about you just got to be ready for sudden change. We talked about it. How quickly can you adapt to a new situation and what's going on? Sudden change was really, really important for us. And hey, we're going to find out Thursday. That game Saturday? Nah, no game. All right. And then as a staff, we got to manage. We talked about mentally. Okay, it's a big letdown. No game. So one day we found out the day of the game, no game. Well, we just stayed in our uniforms, had an inter-squad scrimmage, got after guys and competed. And then another time we took a day off and said, hey, we'll see you the next day. But you're right. We had to be creative with it. I even have a video clip here for you. I don't know if you want me to share the screen or not, but I'd be willing to do it to you.
Please do.
To show you
what
our guys did. We did different games where we'd have our two guys that hadn't played as much as others. They were the captains. They'd pick the team. They split into 7 guys on a team. They'd coach the team, first team to 11 wins. All right. The penalty was the last man left standing had to run a conditioning drill in front of everybody. So you take the winning team, they're off the hook. Okay. Take the losing team, split them into 3-on-3, and they fight and play to 7 points. The winning team's off the hook. They don't have to run. Now you're down to 3 guys. One of these 3 guys is going to run this drill in front of everybody else. So it was incredible peer pressure. It got really, really competitive. And it was in February during one of our long pauses. And we just did it to kind of have some fun. And that day, I would point to that drill on that day, and I'll show you the guy's reaction if it's okay, JR.
Hey, that reaction, sure, Coach. Go right ahead.
Let me see if I can do this here. I'm not as technologically. Yeah, you have to make me a host to do that. So are you able to do that?
Let me see, because okay, everybody's a host. Yeah, we go. There we go. See, live radio people. Here we go. There you go, Coach. You're the man.
Okay, so can you see this right there?
I sure can.
All right, so I'll try and turn the volume down here if I can. But these are the final 2 guys. And the guy right here is an all-tournament player for us in the conference tournament just now. All right, and this is a guy, a graduate transfer, Anto, who didn't play very much. We call it the Hunger Games. So we got the music going in the background. They're shaking the camera. All right, we're playing to 3. It's 2-2. All right. So now it's getting real. This guy's going to lose. We're going to have to run a conditioning drill. This is February 10th, I believe. We're in the middle of our 19-day pause. What do we do to keep it light? It's 2-2. This is the game. Look at our players.
They're all into it.
A starter versus a guy who doesn't play much. Bucket. Look at this. Guys running everywhere. Incredible, right?
Yes. They're really about their teammate. They're so happy for that guy. It's one.
How beautiful is that? So when I saw that and I watched it on film over and over again, you just could tell our guys loved each other. They cared about each other, and they didn't care. If people wanted to restructure their schedule, they couldn't handle their testing, whatever the reason to not play us, we were going to get better, and we were going to have fun doing it. And that's the best example I could show you.
And, Coach, you said you have 2 guys from Georgia on your roster, and I love it. I want you to tell us about those 2 young men on your roster from the city of Atlanta and Georgia State, because I tell you what, Coach, we have a lot of great players for you guys up there in Philly.
You do.
And
yes, you do.
I want you to keep coming down here and getting these guys, because guess what? If others in the Big South, the SoCons, SEC, don't want them, you can have them, Coach Spiker. Hey, you give them my blessing. Hey, take them on, man.
You're very kind, JR. Listen, Drexel's a great academic school. It sets you up not only for 4 years, but for the next 40 years, the rest of your life. That degree is regionally dominant and internationally prominent. Wherever you go, you can have success with a Drexel degree. So we've got 2 guys. One of them is a sophomore. I know we've talked about before, TJ Bickerstaff, right? Grandson of the great Bernie Bickerstaff in the NBA. JB's nephew, who's the coach of the Cavaliers right now. TJ's from Sandy Creek High School. His high school coach is John Michael Nickerson. They've got a great team. I think they advanced to the state finals or semifinals last week. They've got a couple really good young players on their team. John Michael's been a good coach, was an assistant at Kennesaw for some time. And, we like to we don't care where we take our players from, JR. We want well-coached players.
Yes.
Right? High-character kids, well-coached young players. And both TJ from Sandy Creek and Lamar Odin Jr., who went to Green Forest High School, played for Coach Roy Griffin, are both that. They represent their high schools and their families, and they're just absolute ambassadors for Drexel basketball. They're great young men.
And Coach Spiker, what people don't realize is Atlanta has a great development of AAU coaches, high school coaches, very high level. It's not just throw the ball out and play. It's very high level. It's very well
programs. They're programs. They're not
yes.
teams. They're programs. AAU programs.
Yes. And it's just so great to see it because, these guys are really sitting there setting guys up to success when they come to you or whoever they play for D1. They're ready to play because they've been trained well in a program and been given the tools to develop as young men and as players. And so when you give them, you can help mold them into some even great. Take that clay and keep molding that clay to some even better and better and better.
And at the end of the day, you want to give them an experience and impact their life as young men while winning basketball games. We're going to do that as coaches. Drexel's going to do that from an academic standpoint, and we're going to win some games, and these guys are going to be better basketball players and better people when they graduate and leave, and that's what it's all about.
And Coach Spiker, just seeing your journey this year, man, I just want to tell you, man, your team so resilient, and you know what? This is something so for your team forever. We won in the most hardest year ever. We won this tournament, and we did it together. Representing this university as one. The Dragons is one nation. 25 years, and we did it. And that's forever. Your staff, from everybody from top down, administration-wise, you all should just be happy because it all came together and took a great group of people to this village here of Drexel to get the job done, man. And I'm just proud of you guys.
I appreciate you saying that, JR. There's been some other really good basketball teams at Drexel that didn't have the good fortune of the selection committee. In particular, I think of the 2012 team that won 20 straight games, coached by Bruiser Flint, an incredible team that had an incredible run that really probably was a mistake by the selection committee. I know they messed up, and it's not fair to that group. But when we go to the NCAA tournament and we go to Indianapolis and we put that jersey on that says Drexel basketball, we're not just representing ourselves and our families and the people of Drexel now. We're representing anybody that has ever set foot on this campus, that has gone to class at Drexel, that has taught at Drexel, and most importantly, our former players that didn't get this opportunity. We're playing for them next week.
No doubt. Coach Spiker, Thank you for your time today before you go to Indy. Thanks for making time for me, man. I love our chats, man. And keep getting our ATL guys up there to you guys, man. I love talking to you always, my brother. And be safe, be blessed, man. I wish you all the best here in Indy, man.
Thank you so much, JR. Atlanta to Philadelphia, direct flight, hour and 10 minutes. Anybody can get here.
Yes, indeed. Coach Spiker, hey, you be good, but talk to you real soon, man.
Take care. Go Dragons.
Yes, sir.